one.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's Go Hunt. Swapping your vape juice out for bucket pheromones, it's Let's Go Hunt. First time I read that. Sam Alexander, who thinks this looks infected. Vince H., who's Dave Packard, who's the same but different. And back from Springfield without any new guns. Take it or leave it. I'm Mike Consalvis. Tonight, we're topless and topicless.
I mean, that was fitting to be itching to get out on that there hunt.
I was going to tell you Godspeed before you started. It would be more enjoyable if you didn't know.
I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't know he'd just like freeze.
Give up.
I didn't give up. I moved on. There's a difference.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
that sounds like somebody that gave up.
Yeah, that sounds like it was mutual.
It could have been. We'll never know now.
It's me, but it also is you.
It's in the past. It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
It's vape juice under the bridge. I came up with that one just on the fly today. I'm glad you didn't read it beforehand because
That's awful.
It was well done.
so it's the ultimate cover scent. You just sit there and
dude, what if you could vape deer scent and attract the deer that way?
No.
I'm not gonna try it.
What you do is if you really hate somebody, I mean, you could.
Oh my god!
Dusky in the chat said, "Fucking vape juice deer piss." Assuming that's what you were saying. Oh my god! About.
We're starting off strong. 2 minutes in.
Well, what I was thinking is, if you really hate somebody, it would be too obvious to go for like a skunk scent gland, but you get a coyote and cut open the bladder. A little. When I was about 10 or so, we got one of those steaks that's basically covered and smells like coyote piss, which is supposed to keep, I can't remember what the hell it's supposed to keep away.
Everyone.
I think we got it to try and fucking stave off prairie dogs because we tried about 20 different ways of killing prairie dogs when I was younger, other than shooting them. And I think we tried some of those steaks and they were nasty. We also had some little ground thumpers. They were supposed to like thump the ground and make they look like fucking like ground steaks, and they're about an inch wide and spiky on one end. And they were supposed to sit there and vibrate and thump the ground in some way that was supposed to make prairie dogs and gophers think of like, oh, there's danger about. You know where we found the fucking things like a week later? Inside the prairie dog holes.
They stole
Well,
them.
apparently they like it. They're like, oh shit, hear that? Oh man, that's a good beat. I'm bringing this one home to the wife. Yeah.
She's gonna be, oh, you got me that new massage chair I wanted.
That's more like the Ewoks, like jamming it up after they defeat the Empire. Like,
while they eat their fucking dead relatives.
Yeah.
And then
Here's the plot twist: it's not a massage chair.
Then we poisoned the crap out of them, and we did the whole little smoke bombs down the holes.
Did you see the guy that little fishing and then the double bubble gum? Done that.
Yeah, we tried that one too. I'm not going to comment on the legality of pouring gasoline down the holes, but I've heard that one works.
Do you see the guy that turned his backyard upside down, trying to do that to like a groundhog?
I mean, I
don't know if it was a propane torch that just opened it, and then he lit it, went whoop.
Yep, I've told you about the ranch my brother worked on. I've told you, I think I talked about this a couple of years ago. They had they had a freaking propane wand, and they were filling up holes and detonate them, and a freaking prairie dog came running out on fire and lit part of the pasture on fire.
You did tell us that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Excellent.
And then we finally got around to just shooting them, and that worked a hell of a lot better.
You know, Dave, there was an awful lot of prairie dogs off of 160 on my way out.
Yeah,
an awful lot.
There is.
In the On public ground, too.
Yeah, there is. Because you can't poison on public ground.
Nope.
You can lead poison them.
Absolutely. Just
for
not
lead
with
poison.
Rosal or
They'll
treated wheat.
They'll make you use frickin' lead-free bullets here soon.
Yeah, copper for
Yeah.
prairie dogs. Fuck off.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Let's stick to fishing.
Right.
But eventually, our prairie dog problems were solved for about a decade because one day, I think they got plague or something. But there was a span of about 2 to 3 weeks where we had hundreds of frickin' birds of prey just flying around out there in rush, just in the air, circling constantly. And then a few, like 2-3 weeks later, they were all gone, and didn't see a prairie dog for a long frickin' time.
You had a disease wipe them out somehow.
Something happened, like they got plague and died, and then the birds were attracted by the die-off, or it was weird.
But that's what I'm thinking. Like the birds were waiting for one to crawl out of its hole so they could swoop in, and
And then the birds got plague, and that explains all the dead birds.
Did I tell
then-
you guys about the plague story from down here?
Hang on.
Mm-mm.
Real quick, Montana Dirt Road said that he had a buddy who used a water tank to flood them out. Yeah, I know people who did that too.
That's how I snake hunt.
You flood
Is-
them out.
Yeah. You drive around with a big ass tank and you find rattlesnakes sitting on top of the hole. And then when you pull up, they'll go into the hole. Well, then you just stick the fucking hose in there, or the pipe just lays over, and you fill it with water, and then here they come up. And then you grab them with I had like a 3-prong grapple type deal where you pull them up and out and get them with a shovel.
Yeah, no,
It's great time.
I'm gonna skip the grabbing part and get right to the getting them with a shovel part.
Anyway, so back to this plague business. There used to be a guy that he's dead now.
You get plague?
I don't know. Pretty sure it was just cancer. But he used to live in a town close to me, and whenever he'd find a prairie dog town that had or that was getting plagued out, and he'd go shoot a prairie dog and he'd cut it up in like little sandwich baggies, and then he'd fly his plane around to the other prairie dog towns and throw out the chunks of plagued out prairie dog so they'd eat it, and then they'd get the plague and wipe them out too. It's illegal as fuck, but
Jesus Christ.
I love it.
I wouldn't want to fly a plane around with plague, but
Let's say, yeah, he's a little braver than I am. I won't be touching that
Yeah.
stuff, but whatever works.
I only got to see one spider too.
Did he have a lot of tumors around his armpits and his lymph nodes by chance?
unknown. Never got that close.
Probably for the best.
I don't want to known.
Yeah.
How did the Great Black Death of freaking America start in year 2012? Well, it all started with Bob and his airplane.
Dusky, what are you
Mhm.
on?
Don't even. I
He
don't.
said it was well, he said it was the tarantulas that bit the prairie dogs that stopped the birds from carrying the plague back from Canadian land and vaping all the deer piss.
Pretty well sums up our show.
And he also says extra nipples. Don't trust them. Oh, it's too bad we can't have extra nipples as the show title.
9 minutes in, ladies and
Well, I
gentlemen.
think we can have
9
extra-
minutes
Can we
in.
say
I think we have extra nips.
or extra teats?
I don't know.
Let's move
Hang
on.
Fine. Yeah, you
What
people, no fun.
What about neat teats?
That has nothing to do with extra, though.
How about note totes?
Notes. All right. So as Mike, I kept getting him confused with Dave having the intro. Says Mike, we are topless and topicless tonight. So y'all just got to stand by as we go through some random shit and a little bit of gear chat and a little bit of prairie dog talking. Apparently,
Isn't that what they always do? They just stick it out with us.
I mean, no, I mean, I like the whole topic system we had going, but I feel like occasionally we have to clear the backlog of random crap that comes up. Otherwise, we're going to have show notes that are 30 pages long. And like, oh, yeah, we never did talk about that, did we? Oh, don't worry. We'll get to it eventually.
I'm just glad that I don't see VDSM in Vince's notes anymore. Wonder what the fuck it means.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you were driving. You said something about the highway down there, Mike. What the hell were you doing in Springfield land?
Springfield had their annual Pheasants Forever banquet. You know, the annual I spend too much money and get drunk banquet.
$1,000 retail shotguns today.
Correct. We were on our way back out, and I just saw a whole bunch of prairie dogs. But anyway, I'll share that later. So went down there. I had planned on going down and meeting up with the dudes. Dave and Mike W came down. Listener Mike.
Other Mike.
Other Mike.
Good Mike.
And now we have good Mike. Now we have another guy we know named Mike, who's cool Mike, and then our Mike, and apparently good Mike.
Uh-huh.
So I met up with listener Mike.
yeah.
We chatted for a little bit, and I hooked him up with a Camerado hoodie, and it was one of our Let's Go Hunt logo Camerado hoodies. So he was super stoked about that.
Put the wrong chat in.
So yeah, the banquet was great. The kids had a lot of fun. My kid's retarded, and we're gonna leave it at that.
Two chromosomes short of a full deck.
Apparently.
Anyway,
I want to talk. I want to discuss more about it offline with Dave, but let's move on from there.
Yeah.
Is this different than the story you told us earlier?
moving on.
Yes, different story.
Oh my. Anyway,
Equally as shitty. But
Yeah. So we had a great time. I didn't win anything. There was a bunch of cool guns. There was a bunch of not very cool guns. The hats were going for astronomical amounts, and
yeah, they were.
so I spent $1,000 on my retail shotgun, and these hats were going for $2,500 this time.
What was the crappiest gun a hat could have gone for?
There was a
another
Taurus 357.
So you
They
could have
did.
spent $2,500 on a hat to get a Taurus 357,
which is better than a Kel-Tec 22 mag, to be fair.
The Kel-Tec 22 mag was a table gun. So at our banquet, we have an option where you could buy a table for $600. It's seat 6 people. You get all the meals. You get a bag that is for a hat raffle, and then you get a gun. And our gun this year was a Kel-Tec 22 mag. So,
yeah,
but all in for $600.
So but I mean, the moral of the story is someone's going home with a Taurus revolver and a big hangover going, shit.
Yeah. And it's not me this year.
That's the beauty of it.
Yay.
I mean,
I'm glad it's not you, but at the same time, I'm kind of sad just because that would add to like the lore of the Pheasant Forever.
Our biggest donator, Mike Gonzalez.
Here you go.
He donates so much he gets his own gun every year. We just buy him one.
You just give him the freaking gun left over.
That's the Mike gun.
We did have a 22 over 410 over and
That's
under.
pretty cool.
That was pretty neat.
If it was a 20 gauge or a 12, I'd be cool.
Oh,
with
I
it.
know.
Or
Yeah,
10, I'm
but
just nah.
yeah,
But if it was a 20 or 12, I would want it with like 357 mag or something like that.
What I would
20 gauge and a 4570 with a 12.
what I would really want, what I would really want is a 223 and a 12 over under.
I want a 30-06 and a
That's
12.
actually nice.
'Cause
I'm
the
going to jump in
two-
here,
two-
and I'm going
All right, go.
to ask a pertinent question. Hey, what the hell is Pheasants Forever, and why were you guys doing this?
That is kind of pertinent.
Well, it's an organization that is seeking genetic testing to have immortal pheasants that you can shoot over and over and over again.
So that pheasant kind, not human, forever dominates this earth.
Exactly.
Now and
They're like,
always.
hey, we don't want the cockroaches to take over the earth after people kill themselves. So how about pheasants? And
You've
someone's
seen
like,
that
"That's
movie
a good idea."
Pleasantville? It's going to be Pheasantville.
Oh, before we go any further, I needed to send you guys this picture. A guy I work with sent me a picture. He was running his route, and it's about 20 miles that way, southwest of me, and I'm in southeast Oklahoma, right? He sends me a picture of a ringneck pheasant
Ooh.
off
Nice.
the road. I'm like, what in the world? Because I've not seen one of those further south than like north central Oklahoma. And I would have told you we didn't have those around here. And I was like, that's so cool. I want to eat it.
Dusky says, "Oh, never mind. I thought it was Peasants Forever. Different Banquet, Dusky."
No, that's the one I organize.
Right. And also,
That's
the
how I
DNC.
treated it this year. I was like, yeah, I'm not buying nothing.
I put my money in for a bunch of guns. Like I bought
Yeah.
3 or 4 tickets per drawing that they had, and the way that they do the drawings, for a lot of them they hand out basically decks of cards. They'll put 2 decks of cards together and then sell all the cards for $10 a piece. So you basically get $1,040. And I'm sure the guns they cost less than that normally, but
I don't know.
Yeah,
If
there
that
were
Long
some-
Ranger was expensive.
yeah, the Long Ranger was
wait.
cool. But hey, they made up for it with the Taurus 357.
Besides Sam's cheeky answer,
Oh yeah,
Pheasants Forever?
You still
Yeah.
would, so Pheasants Forever is a conservation organization, much like Ducks Unlimited or Rocky Mountain Elks Foundation, or they're private organizations that they're nonprofits that they take in money and spread it around, and how they spread it around I'll let Dave explain.
A lot of it is conservation. A lot of it is pheasant rehabilitation, especially down here because the blizzard of 06, 07 pretty well fucking wiped out our pheasants. They do a lot of youth outreach, like specifically in our chapter. I'm the youth chairman. Specifically in our chapter, we're partnering up with Colorado Parks and Wildlife to do some youth hunts with them. Like, they're organizing the hunts, we're helping them out, and then we do our own youth pheasant hunt where we'll go buy birds, we'll go get them dizzy and hide them, and then we take a dog and the kids out there. That way they know there's pheasants there, and they'll have an opportunity to shoot the pheasant, and it's at no cost to the kids. Then at that youth hunt, we give away prizes, and usually there's a memorial gun. The Darwin Hanson memorial gun. But it's a good time. A lot of what we do out of our chapter recently this year, or I guess it was last year, a new shooting complex has opened up down here, and it's geared towards 4-H and high school shooting sports. So now high school shooting sports is actually in our school curriculum. Like, you can do that as an elective.
Excellent.
based.
So we sent some money their way before the banquet, and then now after the banquet, we'll send them a little bit more money, but help them get everything rolling, get a building up, and then they can have state sanctioned shoots there. So yeah,
nice.
it's a good time. That, and I mean, our banquet every year, it's an open bar, so that's a fucking great time.
Yeah, that's how you get people to spend $2,500 on a hat.
Exactly.
Or 1,000.
That's Hey, okay, so funny thing is, last year I went directly to Marcus, the guy he's the auctioneer for the whole thing, and he's a great dude. I went up to him and I was like, "I'm onto your plan, Marcus." He's like, "What's that?" I was like, "You got the open bar, so you get everybody drunk, so you take their money." He's like, and just walked away. And then like an hour later, I got drunk and bought $1,000 shotgun.
You were onto it, and you were into
You
it.
spent $1,000 on a $500
$400.
shotgun.
Yeah.
You spent $1,000 on a good cause, and in return,
Granted.
received a shotgun.
I got a
Yeah.
pretty solid shotgun out of it, to be honest. Like, it moving past my initial
I mean,
it
it works,
didn't-
which is more than your 1187.
Shots fired.
only one.
Well, we do
because
have
it's a
nice
bolt
guns
action.
too. We do have nice guns too. One of our card drawing guns this year was a Henry Long Ranger in 223, which is threaded the whole nine. Yeah, it's a
that
slick
one?
gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I really
Yeah,
liked.
I wanted it real bad.
I wanted the Ruger breakdown in 9mm. I wanted
Yeah,
that one.
we had a PC carbine We had the most ghetto FUD gear sawn that I've ever seen. For like the little high power clone. Like, it was.
Oh yeah.
It was black with wood grips and gold accents everywhere. Like the safety and everything. Yeah, I took a picture of it.
It was pretty cool, man.
You send me a picture of that because you're
Yeah,
like,
well.
Okay,
it's
did it?
each of us has a gun here that we liked,
I wanted it.
and that was the one for me right there.
I didn't want it a lot, but I wanted it.
Did it at least have the extended beaver tail?
Yeah.
Or did it? Okay, so all right.
Yeah,
we're
it
good.
did. Yeah,
I'd shoot it. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure it did. I don't know. I was in beer.
Oh, I'd more than shoot
But-
it.
So we listener Mike B actually was down here elk hunting a little bit, and he swung by and he donated us a bunch of stuff, and so that brought all kinds of money. He gave us a little fold up chair that folded into a bag that was like this big, but then it folded out into one of them like big ass like camp chairs. Supported 300 pounds and everything. I was like, son of a bitch, I want to buy this. The little camp stove and this little takedown frying pan. It's like a carbon steel frying pan, probably a 9-inch or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that the handle comes
9-inch
off. That son of a bitch went for $100. Like Jesus Christ! In our silent auction.
Dude, that thing was a $50 pan normally. I looked it up. It was going. I put a $30 bid down, and then somebody came behind me and went $40, and I was like, well, it's. I looked it up to see how much it was, worth, and damn, dude, $100. That's impressive.
Yeah. Or our popcorn. We get popcorn donated
dude.
every year. It's kettle corn. Just I don't know, bags.
Oh God.
That shit was going for $40 a bag.
I paid $45 for a bag of that last year.
God damn.
Ooh. Oh, I think I found it. Is it the Gerson? Sorry, MC, whatever. Is it the select one? Gold hammer, gold safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold trigger, gold extractor, and gold magazine. Oh,
Yes.
Put it on the screen.
I'm working on it. Look, I can only work with one hand right now.
Oh.
I call it ghetto FUD.
Get your dick out of your hand, and it's weird you do that left-handed, but okay.
It's a weird assumption. Why would you assume that? Oh, it does not have the extended beaver tail.
I don't care.
Yep,
that.
that's it.
Oh.
That's still.
All right, so I have a major problem with all Turkish ghetto guns. They turn them into freaking billboards. This thing right on the side of the frame says "Warning: Read Safety Manual." Right above the serial number. It's
Why
like
is that inscribed there?
every freaking cheap Chinese. Those count too. Every cheap Turkish gun in the world has that. The Little Rock Island I have has freaking you stop if your gun's already cheap. Stop making it look cheaper by turning it into a billboard.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that's a legal requirement for like import garbage.
Oh.
That better be the because that's the ridiculous. They should put it like on the bottom of the dang, like put it on the inside the trigger guard or something.
It's like that.
Is it a felony to grind that off?
They put it too close to the serial number.
Just don't touch the serial number.
A little
bet
blue
it's
tape over the
not.
top of that. It'll be fine.
I don't think it is. I'm
Anyway.
with Vince.
Sorry, I got excited. It's like
Yeah,
the
no,
lever
that was-
gun behind me. It's currently got a brass loading gate on it, and the saddle ring on the other side's brass too. I meant to put other brass things on there, and then the funding switched to other projects. We'll get back around to it one day.
He's gonna put brass truck nuts on it.
Fucking A.
He's dangling off the back.
Dude, he better
No,
put
off the
gold-plated
front.
truck nuts
Yeah,
in.
off the
Helps
lever.
with muzzle flip.
Off the lever.
Well,
Goes to work. It's like ka-tink, tink.
the nuts are usually hanging directly in front of Sam anyway.
Hey, music man.
It's so when he's pulled up, he just lets go and then he's just got to cup them and bring it back up under.
This feels so natural.
It's interesting.
It's like the fist.
I
grip
can't
of
remember
Sam.
what our big gun was.
It was a Springfield Armory.
Oh, that's what it was.
Something.
Springfield.
I looked right at you and said that gun ain't worth $1,500.
A Springfield
like, "That's
2020.
exactly-" Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, Springfield 2020 carbon fiber barrel threaded all in 6.5.
So even the best
I
gun
mean-
went for less than the hats were going for.
You.
But if you win the raffle for we gave away Glock bags this year, like little range bags. So you could buy this bag and then you were entered into the raffle for a hat. So you could get a $1,500 hat for $50-$60 if you want it. And in turn, this $1,500 rifle.
I actually would be very intrigued to find out who won the bag and then what gun in turn they won with said bag.
I think they won the Henry 22.
That's not bad.
Is this good or bad?
I love Henry 22s.
medium.
Love them. But no, it was a good
It
time.
was fun.
Mike, good Mike, was out on Elk that day, and it was hotter than shit. It was stupid hot. Or I guess it was the day before. And I sent him a waypoint to go to this walk-in area, and he's like, yeah, I drove up there. Said, nope, turn the fuck back around, because he didn't know that we had tarantulas migrating right now. He's like, I stopped because I was wondering what the fuck was crossing the road, and he's like, it's a spider as big as my hand. No.
Aw. They're just
You ask him if he collects a land shrimp?
and shrimp. We're gonna write that one down.
That is a good one.
Man, I bet you saute them up, they'd be all right.
I mean,
I bet
deep
not.
fried.
They're fuzzy.
deep
Well, you got
fry 'em.
okay. You got to roast them. Yeah, you got to roast them over the. Give them a little
We
flame so
talked
it
about
burns.
this a
Yeah.
couple
Have
weeks
you-
ago. We talked about doing a quick sear to get the hair off, like a blowtorch, and then you deep fry them.
Dave, have you never seen the video of the? I think it's Cambodians or Thai. One of the two.
Asians eating spiders.
Yes, where
Yes.
they're
Everybody
they have a
has.
bowl full of them, and they're just like pulling the fangs out, and like they're literally going to each one of them, ripping the fangs out, the venom sacs and everything, tossing them into a new bowl, and then they rinse them all up, just rinse them full of water. The spider's like trying to chlorol it, and then nope, get back in there, and then boom, straight in the oil, and the spider's like and I'm dead,
It's
and
like
then they eat them.
crawfish.
Gross.
I prefer to watch the guy that eats all the bugs and shit in his car, but he's scared of everything. So he had to eat a tarantula, and he's like,
Aw.
and fucking threw it, and then it went off. He's like, I don't know where you went. The last one I saw of him, he had surströmming, the stinky Swedish fish in a can
Yep.
that's fermented. Yes,
Ugh.
that. He didn't know what it was, so he opened it in his car with just like his little pocket knife can opener, and it sprayed fucking everywhere.
That's the best place to do it.
Good times.
Yeah, so we only saw one of them on the highway on the way back too.
I
Sadly.
think. Speaking of strange food, I think fish cock would be right up Mike's alley.
Why the fuck would you think that?
It's a
That
real
is
food. I've had it. It's interesting. It is. It's a Finnish thing, and you can buy it in cans from Finland. It's like a rye bread. So this is in the can. It's not as bad as you think it is, but it's not something I want to eat a whole can of. It's like a rye bread on top, and there's a layer of smoked salmon, and then a little bit of rye bread on the bottom. And it's called fish cock.
Oh my god!
It actually
It's
does
actually
sound
pretty.
good.
It's not. But my issue is once I get through like 3/4 of the can of it, I'm tired of the taste and I want something else. But it is pretty yummy.
Montana Dirt Road says car smells like a sorority girl's locker room.
Yeah.
You ever seen that Instagram video where the girl picks her boyfriend up and she's not wearing any pants and he gets in, he's like, why does it
Oh,
smell like
yeah,
fish in here?
What you mean to tell me you had fish and didn't tell me?
I don't have fish. I didn't have. There is no fish in here. I swear. Then why does it smell like that in here?
Oh.
Where are your pants?
Okay, moving on.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah, we're moving on from that. Jeez.
So anyway,
So I flipped
It was a
the
good time.
Gideon Optics Omega over on my 590 first to do some extreme torture testing. Also, just shooting the crap out of it, which I'm going to do on the 590 just because I eventually, yes, I want to shoot ducks with it and then crane with it, but I want to have, a 7+1 capacity and not a 2+1.
when you say torture testing, are we talking like whips and chains or rope and duct tape or?
I don't know what the hell you're into, but I'm not into it.
torture, man.
I mean, I was thinking more thumb screws and riding the rail out of town, and then you're gross. Anyway,
I'm so confused.
you should.
Derailed.
Same.
Anyway, this is my first experience having an old dot on a shotgun, and I'm kind of liking it. It's
Mhm.
very intuitive, actually.
Isn't it?
I've got to double check everything's Loctited down, and then get to the range here, or not. Maybe not the range. I got to find somewhere to shoot it. I might take it out to Rush and just shoot it out in my old home range before trying to go up turkey tracks, because where I have been shooting is closed down to a wildfire, and nobody's sure if it's open yet or not. But
Maybe I just need to drill and tap the rib on the top of my double barrel and screw a Picatinny rail to it.
Mhm.
you just need a clamp. You need to invent a clamp that just clamps right onto the rib.
You know
Might
what?
just use magnets.
The dude that tried to take
I
a
like
shot
it.
at Trump on the golf course, he had electrical tape to the scope around his SKS, and
There were scope rings
one
in
of-
there. Now I'm not sure why there was tape over the scope rings, but if you look at the pictures, there are actual. I mean, they look like they're $10 scope rings, but there were at least scope rings. I suspect it was probably loose, so he's like, "I better tape this down tight."
I could see that.
Slava Ukraine.
They smack it after he's done and say, "Well, that's not going anywhere."
No, it's not ratchet strapped.
I hope so.
Knocks the scope off center. He's like, oh.
That's all right. Good to go. But no, I've got it on the 590 for now, and then
Nice.
after I do some shooting with it on the 590, I'll switch it over to the 535, whatever the hell my hunting shotgun is, and go from there.
That Omega is really nice on shotguns, dude.
It is. Well, you saw it today too, but I saw their
Yeah.
the Granite or whatever, the
Mhm.
competition style size pistol dot, even a bigger window, which I was like, oh, this would even be better on a shotgun because it's bigger and bigger is better.
But is it? Like, let's.
I'll ask your mom.
She wouldn't know.
Oh, whoa! Wait a minute.
God
This-
damn.
Wait, did she just?
He just
did
took
Mike just burn his own dad? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. He knows the cloth that he's cut from.
I meant to burn you since you were trying to be like, oh, I got your mom, but sure, we can go down this road, whatever.
Quit while
Jesus
you're ahead,
Christ.
man. Quit while you're ahead.
That's all it is.
Okay, I was trying to find a way to get there.
It's like a mushroom cap in a forest.
Showroom title.
Christ.
No title is that mushroom cap. Oh,
Oh, half gnome over here.
He's like, what? I'm a fun guy to be around. Hey, Roden's in the
That's
chat.
good.
Hi, Roden.
yeah, we made him laugh hard enough to help that out. No, Montana Dirt Roads, it is not a hot dog down a hallway. It doesn't make it down the hallway. It's stuck in the door. It's on the threshold. That's it.
Looking through the window.
Someone let me in. The door's open. You can.
What the hell were we talking about?
Damn.
Red dots on shotguns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
red
that.
Fix.
Oh. Well,
God.
well, anyway, I need to also go try and. Oh no, here we go. I need to go try and shoot a beaver here sometime this week or early next week, and I think after that we will be able to do. I feel comfortable doing an actual review video on the LPVO at that point, and I'll lasso you and you into that one, Mike.
Not with that fucking pint of beaver blood you got there.
Shh.
Am I gonna have to wear clothes I don't like?
No, Actually, no, not at all.
No clothes at all. None. Not
Okay.
a bit.
So when you're looking through the optic, when you're looking through the Omega on a shotgun, what strikes you about it? Like, you say you like it.
I need a
Why?
cheek riser first of all. I'm very much used to chin welds on like my AKs and stuff, but with a
Yeah.
shotgun, I'm so used to getting in there to get down to look down the barrel to the bead and not what a lot of people do, including me for a short period of time for shooting shotguns, which is to basically be above the barrel and try to aim off the bead and then wonder why I keep shooting high. I'm so used to getting compressed down on a freaking shotgun so much that I think I would need a cheek riser on that one. Just because it's like, oh, look, there's a duck. Oh, wait, no, pull my head up. I don't want to do that shit. No, I just think, I mean, what I like about a bead on a shotgun is that it's, you shoot with both eyes open, and then the red dot's just an extension of that.
Yeah. I would agree with
But
that.
now it's a big red splotch of light instead of a little tiny brass bead way out there.
It's an actual target, and you have 360-degree view around. Like, you have your point of aim, which could be a duck or whatever, but you can see below the duck as well. You can't just see around.
I'm definitely going to have to take it like down to that trap or skeet range that we've gone to a couple of times because I like it. I think it'll be like absolute teats for a combat shotgun type of thing. But I'm a little trepid. I have a little bit of trepidation about shooting something flying through the air, only because I've shot a lot of clays just with a freaking bead sight, and so I want to be like, is this actually going to line up? But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Montana Dirt Roads has a question. He says, "Oh fucking shit! There we go. Oh, not that one. Honest gun question. I need a muzzle brake for a Howard 1500 30-06. That's half by 28 thread. Have any suggestions?"
The
I actually have.
The biggest and most obnoxious one you can find.
Oh, the shitty thing about that is there's not a lot of 30 cal muzzle brakes that's half by 28 to my understanding, but I have one, and I don't want to show it because we'll get banned on YouTube. But Montana Dirt Roads, if you'll message our Instagram, I'll send you a picture.
What I would suggest is looking for something for a 9mm, because your 9mm muzzle devices are going to be half 28.
Solid.
See if there's anything out there that's like, this is for the 9mm. And as long as it's made out of the same stuff they make the other brakes out of, it'll be fine.
I wonder if I could just show a muzzle. We'd get banned. I'm not going to risk it.
With my luck on Instagram recently,
Yeah.
I do it.
But at least tell him what brand it is.
I don't even fucking know.
Oh.
I took it to the guy to have the barrel turned and or threaded.
He's like,
and he's like,
parts being.
yeah, I was like, here, I threw a brake on it too, and I'm like, okay.
It's like Monstrum tactical brake.
I don't know. It's healthy, and it knocks the wind out of my 300 Win Mag, so it's fucking.
Oh, Roden brings up a good point. If you shoot a 30-06 round through a 223 brake, it automatically converts to 30 cal.
This is a good point.
See,
Or will it, wait,
that Armo logic, man. He's
it might convert your 30 cal to 223.
even better. That's like a Sabo round, but without an actual Sabo.
It's a Shavo.
You don't need a jacket on that thing anyway.
It's like the ship jumping to warp speed. Like,
I don't know about you guys. I'm really going to miss
Stretches
Roden when
out.
the San Andreas thing happens.
Are you kidding? We're gonna go rescue his ass.
Dude, it's going to happen. He's going to be in the ocean. Ain't no rescue.
Not if we have anything to say about it.
I don't know if you know this, Mike, but they make boats.
I don't know if you know this, but
Air Force, like, wait, boat exists?
He's like, we don't know. We don't know anything about boats here. We only fly.
are that Navy job?
Anyway, Anywho,
Yeah.
Go.
I wanted your impressions on it. Besides, like, shooting two eyes open and whatnot.
I mean,
Because
impression's good. Everything seems fine. Now it's just going to be taking it out and actually trying a red dot on a shotgun for the first time. I don't foresee any issues with it. It's not like this is some kind of special rocket science.
no,
It's just a first for me. It's like, oh, this is new and exciting. And
it is pretty exciting. It's really neat.
I had to buy a rail for my 590. I got the
Did it-
cheapest one I could find because, it'll be fine.
Did it come tapped, or did you have
It's
to?
tapped.
Okay.
If it wasn't, I would have put it on a different shotgun because I'm not jumping through those hoops. Just a mount a red dot for fun.
Rodin says he's sleeping with a life preserver from now on.
Hey, you gotta wear your life jacket just in case something happens.
All right,
Every
let's
day.
see it. Let's see it save you from the thousands of tons of rock. But okay,
You're such a pessimist. Gosh.
I am a realist.
No, you're just
I
bringing
am-
us all down.
I am really convinced.
We are going to save our Armenian buddy.
Move to no, don't do that. Move to Montana, and then we'll all meet you.
Move to Wyoming. You can
Move-
set up shot. We'll go into business together. It'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, there's plenty of rich people in Wyoming that you can sell jewelry to.
Yeah, he'd probably, almost fall into the ocean whenever San Andreas goes off, and then he moves to Wyoming, and then the super caldera in Yellowstone blows up, and he's like, oh
Do it.
man. And then he moves down to Louisiana, but then the Mississippi floods. I don't know. I'm
Super.
From a
then he
category
moves-
10.
yeah,
Then he
category
moves to the
10
mountains.
hurricane.
Then he moves to the mountains of North Carolina and gets wiped out by a Category 5 hurricane.
And then he moves to Canada. And then he's just stuck in Canada.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
the final
Hey.
catastrophe.
Joke's on him, though, that all those disasters killed the rest of us.
Montana dirt roads. The caldera is not going to blow up anytime soon. You're fine.
Or is,
Well, I
is
mean,
the
it
joke?
could.
Anyway, dot on shotgun, cool. And that's all I have to say about that for now. Should be blah, 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 blah. Should be shooting a beaver here later this week. I made my favorite recipe ever. I took some of that beaver sausage I made and threw it in with some pierogies and some onions and a bit of butter and just sat there and stirred and stirred and stirred and stirred and stirred and stirred
Ooh.
until the pierogies pop a little bit. The only issue I'm having with that sausage, well, two issues. One of them's a half issue. The major issue is too much nutmeg in that seasoning I bought. Like, I don't know. Was it? No, I don't think that one was Shields brand. It was something else. Maybe it was Shields brand. Whatever. Whoever said, yes, we're going to use my bratwurst recipe. Screw you, sir. Are you like just tone deaf to nutmeg? Because it's way too damn strong. And then the 50-50 beaver meat to pork butt is just, it's not enough fat. It just goes, it's just a little too dry. Especially even sauteing them around with everything else. The sausage just kind of shriveled up because it was shedding grease and fat. And then yeah.
I had an idea.
But otherwise it was tasty.
You should make a breakfast sausage with it. That's
did.
apple cinnamon.
Oh, that's the fucking. Why has no one done this?
It's like a meat cupcake.
Yes,
Muffin.
I'm
Meat
all
muffin.
about this.
Sam's thinking about it.
I'm not liking what I'm thinking about. This isn't jiving with me.
Well, it's they make like the maple sausage, right? But you could do apple cinnamon, so you have an apple
Mm.
cinnamon
I'm good with
with your
maple.
sage and a little spice in there.
I'm good with maple. I really
sounds
wanted to,
good.
but I respected my wife's wishes and did not feed my in-laws beaver sausage in the sausage and gravy that we made after my son's baptism on Sunday. I really wanted to do it, but she was like, "You shouldn't do that to him." I was like, "Are you sure?"
Do what to them?
Please.
Feed them amazing food that you made from a bullet.
They think I'm some kind of monster for shooting beavers, so
We
Yeah.
think they're
Oh.
monsters for thinking you're a monster. I mean,
I mean,
we know you're a
Yeah.
monster, but how dare they think it?
it's not quite. I mean, maybe it is just as
Judgmental
bad as my
fucks.
brother is trying to tell me how important beavers are for building wetlands, and I'm like, first
Do you
of all,
realize
you
how
live in New
important beavers
Hampshire.
are?
Second of all, shut the hell up. Of course, they're important for building wetlands. They're also highly overpopulated.
Do you realize how important beavers are for me making beaver sausage?
They are now.
They're a crucial
once I tweak-
ingredient.
I mean, once I tweak that recipe a bit, probably with more, fat in there. I think I'm going to stick with the same like ratio of meats for the next batch that I make, but I'm going to have to find some just some pork fat and throw that in there too, just to up that fat content. Because you know how like a bratwurst, like just a store-bought bratwurst, even it's nice and like juicy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's missing from this sausage. It's that juiciness. If it had that just kind of like yummy
Yeah, tell me
juiciness
more.
that you eat too much of the shit and then you got to go sit in the pot for 3 hours, if it had a little bit of that, ooh, it'd be perfect. But it's just a little on the dry side. The breakfast sausage, I had that, it was over a month ago now, because I only made a little bit of that. That's yummy. Did I give you the breakfast sausage, Mike?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'll have to
I
see if
regret.
I got some.
I regret not having any of
I
that.
only gave you like 2 of the sausages. So when I was
Yeah.
asking you if you wanted more of the sausage, you're like, I've already got sausage to eat through.
Yeah, man.
I do. I'm actually thinking I should probably start eating some of that.
Yeah, get to it. Mike's like, should I eat my elk meat? Nah, I'll just get a pound of ground beef from Kmart. No, not Kmart, King Supers. It'll be fun.
Fuck that. I haven't bought ground beef in years.
I'll get there one day.
I still got
I
some,
did
but-
not get off to a great start on that lifestyle when I did not kill an elk. Oops.
I'm not gonna lie, the freezer's getting empty though. Like
You can
I mean,
fill it with beavers.
yeah, I could fill it with I could go visit Dooley and maybe buy a quarter
I
cow.
mean-
Like whatever.
You had beaver liver in there for a while, but you get rid of it.
You got rid of the liver?
Oh wait, or is it still in there?
I don't know.
So it's still in there.
The fuck
You
did
didn't
put in
fucking
my
bring that
freezer?
down?
I didn't know I had beaver liver.
You've had beaver liver for over a year.
What the fuck?
We've talked about it because I think you found it and you were like, "What is this?" I was like, "Oh, that's the beaver liver that I meant to give to Dave. That I meant to give to Dave last May when he was in town, but I ended up having to put it in your freezer because I didn't actually touch base with Dave that day beforehand, and then it just never got transferred over."
You know what I should do is make another trip down to Springfield. Dave and I can go shoot prairie dogs all day long, and then I'll go down to the lake and shoot ducks on that morning, and then I'll rip all the livers out of the ducks, give them to Dave, head home, squish all the spiders. It'd be great.
Ooh, tarantula livers.
No,
To
I like
raise-
sea bugs, not land bugs.
Yeah. Sea
All right.
bugs are better. Sea
Anyway,
bugs taste like... Oh, difference between sea bugs and land bugs. You actually take the shell off the sea bugs before you eat them.
it depends. There's a trend right now of trying to get soft shell crabs and lobsters. So basically, right after a lobster or any crustacean sheds its skin, essentially
Mhm.
sheds its shell, they'll have eventually a very soft, tender shell until it has time to harden up. And so there's a trend right now of people trying to eat those things while they're soft shelled. I don't know why.
when Zoidberg does his little pink naked skin thing.
Yeah, basically.
Sure.
Anyway,
We all
Futurama.
remember that.
well, you would if you were his age.
You would if you watched Futurama.
I've seen the
Statement
Futurama.
stands.
All right, Vince, save us from this.
Then you know.
So I was talking about the whole rifle speed thing that I was messing with, that I was kind of
Mhm.
experimenting with, because Dave mentioned wanting to make a bolt action that is made out of an AR, and I had it figured out, and I decided, okay, I woke up at 2 a.m. and I could not go back to sleep, so I got up and realized you have the different plunger sizes, and that's what I was messing with, which affect your range of adjustment on the rifle speed gas block, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got an email from the support at Rifle Speed because I left a note about what I was doing in the order, and he's like, "Hey, here's a little guide on the adjustments." And I had the plunger size wrong that came with it, and I measured it and confirmed, like, yep, I thought it came with a 0.937, but it actually comes with a 0.917. So there is actually 2 more sizes in between what I had and what I was using. So I decided to take the 0.979 and grind it down to the size that I wanted. And so I spent like I didn't grind it because I didn't want to wake everybody in the house up. So I just had sand. I'm in here in the closet with sandpaper on my little workbench, like in the middle of the freaking night. My wife wakes up, I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Go back to sleep. I'm building a rocket."
Businesswoman.
Yeah. And I took it out today, and it actually, so there's a 0.927 and a 0.937 in between. And this one, I ground it down and I tried to make a nice little, cap on the end of it, but it was kind of off center, but whatever. I don't care. To about right in the middle of those 0.932, 933. And so it's off completely on setting 1. It about half opens but doesn't kick out the brass on setting 3, and then it locks back on setting 5 with a suppressor on.
Oh.
So it should, if I turn it all the way up to 12, it should run without a suppressor on there. I didn't try that because I didn't have ears on when I was outside messing with it, but I did check the suppressed versions of it, and it works pretty well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so you just kind of got it, and that's running a 16-inch mid-length gas 556. So it'd be different if you're going to try it with basically any other configuration. It's all just going to be, you're going to have to test it. And of course, I could take buffer weights and shuffle those around, and things would change then as well. But I was messing with that recently. I was also looking at, I know when you asked about it, Dave, I suggested the Foxtrot mic upper. That does have a direct impingement gas system. So you could take the factory gas system off of it and put the rifle speed on there and mess with the plunger weights and get it working the way you wanted it, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I had a standard carbine buffer in it for this round of testing. Considering trying to put an H1 in it just for a little bit slower cycling, but the standard carbine's fine. They actually recommend either a standard carbine buffer or an H1. They don't recommend going up to an H2 or an H3, rifle speed, I mean. But you can if you want to do your own little thing with it.
This is very intriguing. I love it. I love it so much. I'm so fucking excited.
Are you gonna try? When are you gonna try and put something together?
As soon as I get everything.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna slowly start acquiring parts. Probably gonna, as soon as I start getting some overtime checks, we'll buy a shusher.
As soon as it
Get
snows,
that shit going. Yeah.
I would look around on so gun accessories for sale, the subreddit. For every once in a while you see one of the Foxtrot mic uppers show up on there for a decent money.
That'd be awesome.
I really like the Foxtrot mic upper I have on my comp rifle. It's a 9mm side charge, and I've no complaints with it. It's been fantastic.
I still want one. I want one too, because now that pistol braces are back on the menu, I'm much more interested in it. But well, if there's no more questions on that,
I do have one. You said H1, H2, etc. For people who don't know shit about shit. What does that mean?
Oh, I know what it is, but I don't know what the H stands for, other than maybe it stands for heavy. So the buffer is the weighted part behind the bolt in your AR-15, and it provides inertial resistance to the unlocking of your or the unseating of your bolt once the unlocking process has begun. And so the heavier it is, the more time it takes for it to unseat completely, and it slows down the cyclic rate. And the standard carbine buffer is about 3 ounces. An H is 4 ounces. An H3 is 5.6 ounces, I think. 5.6, 5.4, depending on who makes it. Because that isn't a brand name. It's just the designation that's kind of been given to that buffer weight. And someone out there makes an H4. I forget who. It's
Jesus
6
Christ.
point something ounces. And then, of course, that's carbine buffers. Your rifle size buffers are all like H3 weight. All of them. So.
I have a JP Enterprises silent capture spring in the competition rifle. I like it because you can adjust it. You can get titanium or not tungsten weights and also steel weights. The reason I asked about the H1, I'm glad you mentioned the weights for the buffers as well. In order to get the rifle running the way I wanted it to, and actually just like as soon as I put the buffer in there, the silent capture spring, it was hitting me in the shoulder a lot more than I expected it to. So I ordered several tungsten weights and screwed those on there, which I think I did 3 ounces. Each tungsten weight is 1 ounce, and then each steel is 0.6, if I remember right. So I have a 4.2 ounce buffer system in a 9mm rifle. So it shoots really, really nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like it. I have a chair.
It's a nice chair.
So there is
King
a
of the
trade-off.
castle.
If you want it to run fast so you can have really nice fast follow-up shots, you do have to keep the buffer weight down because it does lower the cyclic rate. But then if you run a heavier spring in it, it's more sensitive to fouling no, it's less sensitive. Now there's reasons it could go either way. Anyway,
If you run a heavier spring, it's more sensitive to underpowered ammunition.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But it chews through fouling better with a heavier spring.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
So I tuned it basically to I load all the 115 grains with 3.9 grains of tight group, and that's important because I was told from the very beginning that tight group is not a very good 16-inch barrel powder, so it's not very good to run it right at the edge of underpowered and shoot it out of a 16-inch. Let me back up. 147 grains. Underpower, min loaded 147 grains out of a 16-inch is what I was told. So I run 115s because they're fast enough to actually clear the barrel. That being said, I have not outran the trigger yet, and I'm pretty sure that I tuned the buffer weights to the point where it would actually... I had some issues early on. Like, the whole thing's a Franken rifle. It's got parts from all like, it's an Anderson lower, FM9 upper, JP bolt, JP silent capture spring, hyperfire trigger. Yeah, Franken gun. So I remember tuning it because it was hitting me too hard. It was cycling too fast, and the brass was coming out, and it was actually coming up over the bolt and getting jammed behind the bolt. Well, I ended up taking the to solve that. I had lots of problems with that I ended up solving with a new bolt, which was the JP bolt, and the tuning the weights. If I ever manage to outshoot the rifle, like if I want to shoot and it's not done chambering, I will definitely lower those weights. It's really good to know that you can do that for that reason. And I actually hadn't thought about... I'm glad you brought it up that if you have too heavy a buffer, then you are slowing down your follow-up shots, and in something like competition, that's important. I don't really do that anymore, but
Potentially. Anyway, I think are we down to
Rodden.
just what I have left?
I mean, we could talk about, and there's nothing to talk about. I was just going to make a joke that I will now proceed to muse about how these city streets aren't what they used to be. Chain smoke and lament the death of my late wife. I got a little 38 snub nose. I acquired a little 38 snub nose for super cheap.
now you
Okay, I
need
get
a
it now.
I will now be
That-
LARPing the noir life.
you need a fedora and a cheap
I
suit.
used to own a fedora. I might.
Why am I
still-
not surprised?
Oh shit! I still do. Because, I mean, I have a legitimate reason to. Not because of some fucking missile edgelord shit. I used to go to 1940s themed swing dances with my wife, and so to dress up for that, I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna get a fedora because it's time period correct, and I look pretty fucking slick in a zoot suit But that was also before I got fat. So
Dusky had a question. Aren't they mostly blowback 9mm PCCs? Yeah.
but they still have a
Which is-
buffer spring, and they still use
Right.
the buffer system.
Right. The buffer is what calms the bolt down on its way back
Yeah,
and then
except
sends it back forward.
except usually, if you have a direct blowback, 9mm, there's a buffer for that, and it's usually about 9 ounces. I mean, it's much heavier than even the heaviest buffer meant for a 5.56.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'll let
Let
you
me
go
look.
look. I'll let you go look at that one.
Get it.
But anyway,
Sam, is that revolver what you're going to use to execute the beaver?
maybe if that's what that's what it requires. I hadn't thought of that before, but I'd be like, hey, sorry, toots, and then bang.
Vince, that does actually track the buffer. The silent capture springs for JP Enterprises rifle systems are 3 weights, and the 9mm is 5.
Okay. Sounds about right.
I need a shoulder holster for this thing. There's 2 guns. The only 2 guns in the world I actually want shoulder holsters for are now this and my 1911. And I
But you
almost
really,
Hmm?
you gotta have you need a sawed off over under 12 gauge, and you need to carry it in a shoulder holster.
is this a reference to something?
No, I just think it's cool.
Okay, because what I really need is a cold monitor, but those are a little thin on the ground right now. A Colt monitor is a BAR with a cuts compensator on it, and a slightly shorter barrel. For people who don't know, and they are sick. But
Sounds fun.
a little gun, it's cute,
Tiny little gun.
and it was cheap, really freaking cheap. So cool beans.
Oh yeah, you were showing that to us, and I'd been mentioning I wanted I want one of those, but 9mm, just because I don't want to have to buy 38 special.
Yeah.
And have it around and have to keep up with it. And then someone pointed out that Taurus makes a 9mm 5-shot revolver, and I've just been staring at it since I learned about that.
Taurus 605 or something.
It's a 905. It's the
905.
Taurus 905, and there's one that's called the Concealed Hammer 3-inch, and it's a slick looking little pistol. And it's also got to be like small, because if you go look it up, that's a 3-inch barrel, and compare that to the rest of the gun, and it's got to just be like the little tiny pistol.
Yeah,
So
it does look small. What I really want to do is get another of these little Rock Island 206s, and I don't know if you guys know what a Fitz special is for a revolver. It's essentially back in the 20s and 30s. There's a gunsmith at Colt whose last name was Fitz, and he was what back then you'd consider to be a gun guy, but today like total gun nerd. But he and then some guys after him were bobbing, well, though they were cutting the barrels down, So it's one of the, as far as I'm aware, I think it's some of the origin of a snub nose revolvers with these dudes. They were cutting the barrels down, resoldering on a front sight, bobbing the hammers, and then cutting off the front of the trigger guard. And back in the day, a fit special was like, if you're a gun guy, that's what you carried because that's the slickest stuff of the day and age. I've always thought they were really freaking cool, just because it's just a little weird historical oddity.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It's pretty cool.
I like goofy guns.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here it is. Here it is.
Oh. It's so tiny.
Yeah.
It is
Small.
Yeah. Very. That 3-inch barrel. Like, this is not a big firearm.
No,
Anyway.
it's not. Well, here
I like
we're
it.
doing show and tell. Sorry, this is absolute riveting audio, but you'd had to be there to see it.
Did
that's
you though?
that's a fit special.
Okay.
Just a revolver. They chop the trigger guard, the trigger guard off, basically at the bottom of the trigger, because the idea was, then you don't have to waste time.
off.
You can, took it off. That way you don't have to waste time getting your clearing the trigger guard, or if you're wearing gloves, chop the barrel real down short, bob the hammer so it doesn't catch on anything, and they're just goofy little cool guns.
Dude,
that
you could
barrel,
bump fire
that barrel looks. You could. That barrel looks just like our earlier conversation.
It's
The
just-
barrel looks like it's cold.
I was in the pool.
Does she know about shrinkage? It shrinks. Yeah.
Good lord.
Oh boy.
I'm going duck hunting on Saturday. I'm excited about that.
Wow. That's what time?
I'll be up there before sunrise if you want to go.
At the quack of dawn.
Yes. God damn it. Missed opportunity. Thank you, Dave.
Moist opportunity.
Where
Dude. Deer season archery opened here a week ago, and I have not been out yet. Though I have thrown corn out behind my house a couple of times, and so I think I'm just feeding the deer at this point.
And for all you Colorado Parks and Wildlife officers listening, he lives in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's not baiting if it's normal farming practices.
It's not baiting if
guy.
it's not this stating.
The combine got full and it started running over, so he just hit the brakes and all of it went whoosh.
Oh.
Oops.
Mike, where are you going?
11 Mile.
Oh, what time is sunrise these days?
I asked Siri 7:06.
So I would have to leave here. I will think about it. That's tempting. I won't have the Omega on the right shotgun by then, but
That's all right.
Just pattern
bring-
it in your garage.
Also, all right.
I mean, I have a big enough basement that I can do it across the basement.
If you built
I mean,
a,
how far? Let's see. I could pattern a gun at 20, 25 yards. It'd be fine.
I patterned mine at Magnum at 25 yards.
Yeah, before they yelled at you.
No, I had to buy buckshot.
So if you get there, 7:07 sunrise, what time are you planning on getting set up?
And I am
7:06.
hoping-
But
Fuck you,
8:06.
Dave. I am hoping to be set up before half hour prior to first light. Or I'm sorry, first light's half hour prior to sunrise, so 6:36. I want to be like chilling, eating my breakfast before that.
Okay, I'll hit you up here after we're done.
Word.
Anyway, moving on. Let's
Quack.
go hunt, man.
Dude, let's go hunt. I can't wait to have some more duck belogies.
Blech.
Duck baloney?
Ooh,
Duck
my
baloney.
baloney has a first name. It's Mallard.
He's freaking. So he makes little kid hamburgers and he just turns all of his good game meat into bologna. Oh, you do it with mayonnaise.
N-A-L-L-R-D.
I process. I was wondering if anybody caught that. Thank you.
I
Vince.
did.
Yeah.
That's
Reminds me
basically
of-
my own joke.
I'm a T-I-double-G-er.
Yeah. Anybody who grew up with Winnie the Pooh understands stuff like that. That's how you spell things.
Oh, that explains that. Anyway, that's all I got.
Okay. I got a couple other things.
I figured, based
yeah.
on the fact your show notes are 4 times longer than everyone else's.
Oh, so a lot of that's leftovers, but actually, so you're talking about the Omega and
See.
taking the Guardian out for a test and then doing a video after that. I'm actually working up a test for light transmission for optics. So I actually heard about the idea a while back, and I reached out to a gun writer named John Barsness, who's been into the hunting and shooting arena for, well, decades. He actually runs a he's semi-retired now, and he runs a website with his wife called Rifles and Recipes, and it's pretty interesting. You should go check it out. But he has a test that he's done in the past where it's basically lines on a white sheet of paper in the dark and with an artificial light source to see the lines have different widths, and so you'll be able to make out thinner and thinner lines with better and better optics, and they'll rate better. Well, I had the idea to get a Snellen eye chart, which is the standard, eye test eye chart, and set that out there and see how far down the eye chart you can see with a given optic. So I'm setting up, I ordered the eye chart, and I'm waiting on that, and I'm going to get that. I'm going to test a bunch of the optics I have, and then test the Guardian, see how it stacks up, and see how it rates. There's also different numbers on the sides. Like, you could give it a rating pretty easily, like, yeah, this matches up with 20/20 vision, luminometer, whatever. Okay, Dusky's saying something about a luminometer. I don't know what he's talking about.
It's a light meter that photographers use.
Interesting.
I know this because I bought one for my wife when she was taking classes for photography. It's that little, if you've ever gone to like professional, had your pictures taken in a professional setting, and they tell you to hold still, and they put a little thing right next to your face, and you're like, fuck are you doing? It's a luminometer. They're checking the lighting so they can put the right ISO setting on the camera and actually make you look fucking good.
I actually used one with Sean from We Like Shooting and what's his face, John Patton from the Gun Collective. The hell, this was last year. He brought his van out from Pennsylvania. John Patton did, with all his giant light freaking bars on it, out to Sean's range down in Hanover, and we're sitting out there with a little luminometer trying to measure the light with his cheap ass freaking thing that's leaking out at 1,000 yards. It's like, all right. Basically, my job was to sit there and hold a reflector and be like, can we get it now? Tilt it down, tilt it up, tilt it right, tilt it left. Like, this is stupid, but I'm wearing night vision, so it's cool. Well, I wasn't wearing night vision when he was shining the lights because that may not have picked up on the damn meter, but fuck, it was bright.
I seen that, Roden. That's a good idea. I'll add that to the list.
You have to say what Roden said.
No, it's a secret. It's a trade secret.
It was you had to be their secret?
It's part of the test now.
Okay.
You're actually not going to say it now, are you?
What did I just say?
It's part of the
All
test.
All right.
You got to be in the in crowd. So.
Yeah.
It's come watch the YouTube if you want to know what Roden said.
Anyway, other than that,
you're right.
I got
come watch the Rumble.
I also got some new hunting boots. I think I had them last week, and I hadn't really gotten out with them and to do anything. But today I took off work and went to the zoo with with the family, and so I spent all day wandering around the zoo in the new hunting boots. So
that's pretty cool.
You took the kids back home for a visit.
Yeah, something like that. But I actually, before we left the house, I dunked the boots in water, and then there's this little stream they have there at the zoo that the kids can jump in to play in whenever it's nice and hot outside. So I wandered through that with the boots as well, so they would get a little more pliable and help break them in a little bit better while I was wandering around. I got some Irish setter elk. No. Oh my goodness, I forgot. The Irish setter trackers, I think. They are a little bit better boot. They have a I forget what the construction is. You can resole these.
That's pretty nice. Those are nice boots.
Are
The
you
ones you put a
Googling
picture.
them?
No, these are the ones you put up in our signal a couple weeks ago, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I think that was last week.
The elk
Yeah.
trackers, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get the elk trackers. I got the. These are uninsulated, but they're still. It's not just leather on skin. They got a nice lining to them and everything with a cork footbed and a
Ooh.
nice inner sole as well. So I've got high hopes for these working out well. But I've used Irish setter before, and the last pair I had, I wore them until they literally fell off my feet. They were a different product. These were like deer stalkers was the name of the model, but they were a complete like slip on, almost like your mud boots or cowboy boots or something like that. And I wore them as if they were muck boots, so they kind of deteriorated after a while. Like standing in water and mud and crap while I had to fix water leaks outside and stuff like that. And they held up okay, but until they didn't. Dave got
Nice.
Yeah. I'm waiting for
I'm over here trying to talk, but I'm watching Dave.
Like,
He adds more cans.
You want it to crash down on his head. You want it to, but
The keyboard will never fail.
it will fail one day.
And if you want to know what the keyboard is, you better watch live because I'm never explaining it.
Or at least go watch our videos on Rumble, because fuck
Or do
YouTube. I wanted to say, Vince, boots are pretty important. Socks are pretty important as well. This last time out duck hunting last weekend, I didn't wear anything underneath my waders, like pants or underwear, obviously, but
maybe I don't want to go with you on Saturday.
no long johns or anything like that, because it was so hot, and these things are like 400 gram insulated. They're so
Mike looks over at you like, "Hey, I'm naked under these."
I'm like,
These
hey, I'm
waders.
leaving. Bye. I'm gonna go hunt over there.
Listen here, not everybody is a slut when they're hunting. Just me. Don't call me out for it. Stop slut shaming. Anyway, I discovered
slap
that the
shaming.
boot. Oh, my bad. I'll remember that next
Swatter
time.
Or SWAT shading.
Oh yeah, SWAT shaming. There you go. So the boots in the waders, I discovered. I didn't know this from last year because I didn't wear them without long johns or pants last year. The boots themselves rubbed my calves in like certain spots, inside and outside, just completely raw, to the point that I had gotten my trauma kit out and wrapped both spots with gauze and then taped that down so that I could walk.
Like Walter White style, like Tighty Whitey,
Yeah.
but in waders.
Yeah, tighty Wadies. I like to.
Just wearing the boots and just pulling on the
Walter.
waders.
Freaking Walter Water Swatter over here. Say my name. Water Swatter. Goddamn right.
Walter.
Yeah, socks do matter quite a bit. I was actually struggling because I was putting on my normal socks when I was wearing these around, and it just felt really constricted. But then I remembered I had so I have a liner sock that I use made by a company called Injinji,
Okay.
and those are Sam made a face. They're the toe
Injinji.
socks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the practicality of that, and it's probably a really good idea, but
well,
gross.
if you've ever used like the Vibram 5-finger toe shoes, I used to run in those a lot, and
I'm not
if you wanted
surprised.
socks, you had to use those. And then I started to
You
realize,
You didn't just cut holes in the front of your socks? Fingerless socks, toeless
like the
socks.
little like the hobo socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but they're actually really useful as a liner sock, even if you're gonna put on your liner socks and then heavy socks and put on your muck boots and go around whenever it's wet out. It'll help keep your feet dry and therefore warm, because getting
Okay.
your feet sweaty whenever it's cold
Yeah.
out is the quickest way to get the frostbite in the feet.
Getting, just side segue, getting sweaty at all when it's freezing, that's a quick way to hypothermia and death, but you're right.
Yeah,
on
if
feet
you
also.
yeah, you can make your feet sweat above and beyond the rest of you,
Right.
and so that's definitely a concern there.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. I did actually order. Yesterday I ordered some wader socks to hopefully combat that for until it gets cold again. They come up a couple inches past knees. I haven't tried them on yet. I ordered them on Amazon. They'll be here
Wait.
in like,
Past the knees?
yeah, like
Stockings, like thigh
Yeah,
highs.
the stockings.
Are they fishnet, Mike?
They're just
they're made of wool. Thank you, and yes, they're fishnet.
And they're white, and
uh,
so just see them like sliding on the waders with like the fishnet stockings.
all right,
This is
I'm ending
fucking
this.
gross.
This is how Mike puts
We're
on
outta here.
waders.
Nope. Sport
I hate everything about this, and I cannot wait to make that a meme.
Oh yeah, Dusky, please go back and get me a screenshot of his knee.
No one needs that.
I need it. So does
Don't
Dave.
be needy.
Mm-hmm.
I need
Hey
it.
Mike, if you didn't want this to happen, you shouldn't have done it.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm
you-
willing to put myself at great personal risk for the sake of entertainment. I'm fine.
When you got to go to the old lady's house to ask for hunting permission. Yeah.
122, 25.
Like, Mike, can I borrow your garter?
No. Why? No. Fuck.
Okay.
Yes, wader socks come past your knees. Deal with it. They'll be nice when it's cold. It'll be an extra layer.
They clip to your underwear so they stay up.
Okay.
We'll let you know.
No more. No más. No más. Okay. It's been an hour and 23 minutes. Do you want to just quit while we're behind?
We should have quit an hour and 22 minutes ago then.
Crap. No, we weren't talking about this an hour and 22 minutes ago. Ugh.
That's how I call ducks. You're ducky
I
ducky.
hate you.
I know.
I'm gonna go hunting with you. Just if you don't come back, I'm gonna say it was an accident. Dick Cheney
Sure.
got away with it, so am I.
Yeah, Sam walks through the door like, "Hey, how was hunting with Mike? Like, it was an accident." Like,
I didn't what? Did you get any bird? No.
I got something. Anyway, Operation Shameless Bribery. Leave us a review. Email me that you left a review. Oh, sorry. Roden
yep.
had a question however long ago about something about if porn stars make better elk callers because they don't have gag reflexes. Sir, you're the one who lives in California. I suggest you do the research yourself.
Ouch.
I think that would be worse because if they don't have a gag reflex, they'll swallow the diaphragm call, and then they'll squeak when they cough and laugh.
Dude, they'll be just like a squeaky toy. Every time you squeeze, and the dogs will come running.
Also, if
That's
anyone out there is listening and is interested in Gideon Optics, they're an affiliate of ours. Use coupon code LGH Podcast at GideonOptics.com, potentially changing to coupon code MOIST if
I got an email.
Sam ever sends an email to Bobbert.
In about
Also-
six months, I'll get on that.
You don't have to remind him twice a year. Jesus.
And also, check out Camerado at camerado. Is it camerado.cam?
Yes.
Yeah, camerado.cam.
.cam. Okay.
Instead of .com, I never noticed that.
CAMORADO.CAM. Oh,
That
wait.
is cool.
That says site can't be reached.
No, maybe not.
No, maybe it is .com.
Camerado.com. Yeah, it's camerado.com.
Okay, excellent.
Oh, it's because his Instagram is .cam. Ugh.
Oh, that's right.
Definitely go check out all the awesome stuff they have at camerado.com.
Oh, Rose says he's going to find out. Report back, sir.
I was a little on the fence about Camerado,
Start with the blondes.
and then I got a piece of it in the scout pattern, and it happens to match my area very, very well. So now I have to bother Sean about getting stuff,
Yeah.
which I'm working on. But anyway,
Yeah.
use coupon code Let's Go Hunt
I thought I was
at
doing it.
camerado.com
Wait, no. Sorry, my bad. I thought you were about to do the outro.
for a bit of a discount there.
We
And
ended up
anyway,
saving
now you
money.
can do the
should
outro.
No,
Yeah.
Thank you.
What a fun show.
We shortened the outro finally, so let's see if I can time the music and the outro at the same time again. Support
He's
the sport and take buddy hunting. Don't blue falcon that buddy, especially not literally. Tell them about our show. Hit us up on Let's Go LGH Podcast. Oh, hit us up at lghpodcast.com. Vote no on Proposition 127 if you're in Colorado. If you don't, I will find you and I will kill your cat. Just kidding. In Minecraft. Thanks for listening and let's go hunt.
Yeah, that was way shorter.
So
Very nice.
That's year at a time. I personally like Tighty Wadies.
I also like Tighty Wadies. The Walter Water Swatter.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
End stream. I lost my cursor.
No, Dave's